gosh. Hello, hello. I have with me Pamela Gandhi, and she took time away from her schedule, which she's going to tell us hopefully a little bit about because she had a very special day today, to talk with us and to share her story with us about how she got into the world of bodybuilding, how she actually came to be on stage and to take away from that stage a master figure, 35 and older, believe it or not, 35 and older, pro card. So without further ado, hello, hello, and welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So yes, let's go back a few steps because you did tell me a little bit about your day today. Whose birthday is it?
My daughter's fifth birthday.
Oh, that is so sweet. And you said you went to school to be with her?
Yes, we had the rock painted at school. She got surprised with that this morning on a very cold, rainy walk into school.
Oh,
Yep. Wait. It's it's November. It rains. It
gotcha.
happens. Um,
Okay.
I surprised her at lunch, brought her a special lunch, brought her whole class cookies. So I'm sure she is the most famous kid in that K4 class right now.
Yes, most definitely. So hot darn, you made it a special day for her. That is so sweet. I love it. I love it. And when you're not baking and running off to school, you find time somewhere in there to obviously put together a routine to the point of getting you into shape. How did you manage all that?
I thrive on having a routine and a good regimen. I like
Okay.
knowing ABC and where I need to be. It sounds really silly, but as a mom, it helps me navigate my life and help everyone else stay on course too.
All right. So you actually kind of appreciated the routine or the
Yes.
idea of okay, so most people don't take that approach. They just fight it. They just fight it. They conform, but they fight it. They're like, oh, I got to do what now? So I love that you could be able to gracefully move towards the routine of doing that. So how do you come to be on stage? What made you say, you know what, I want to do that, I want to compete?
It actually started as a child.
Oh,
Growing up in Tennessee, this is going to be really weird. I remember going places and women with tattoos and muscles were always looked down upon. And it drove me nuts as a kid because it didn't make any sense to me. I thought they were beautiful and they were expressing themselves.
right.
And then I saw women's bodybuilding starting. I'm like, oh, I am a tiny human being, but I can do this.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I told my husband, and I don't think he really thought I'd ever do it. Both of our children came from IVF. We had a lot of trouble. And so we have two beautiful girls, 7 and 5 years old as of today, a fresh five. Um, and that's all we have, and that's all we're going to have. So the journey to have them, what if anyone has ever been through IVF or knows anybody, it's awful.
Yes.
And as soon as I weaned our 5 year old, I said, I'm doing it. I'm done. Like, now it's time for me to take my body back and show them how to be strong and confident so nobody picks on them whenever they get older. If they want to have tattoos or blue hair or whatever they want to do, I want them to be strong and confident.
It's a beautiful way to, I love that. I love your reasoning behind why you did it. And now that you have children that they're going to look up to you for that, that's amazing. I love it. Absolutely.
I
So
told
in
you
our, say again,
I told you it was a little weird.
it's not weird. No. I mean, who better to look up to as a role model than your own mom, right?
Yeah.
And when you put that purposely there for them, that's even all the better. It's not like, oh, just off a whim, I'm going to do this. It's like, no, there's a reason behind doing that. All
Yep.
right, now. So how long did you have to diet down and do this one? How many weeks, months? How long did it take for you to
Th-
get into competition shape?
This one was about a 15-week prep.
Okay.
It was the first of three shows that we had planned for the year. And I wasn't going to compete this year. I was going to take another year to build. And in April, my girls are like, when's your next show? No, they're like, no, you have to win a trophy. We want to see you win a trophy. I'm like, I looked at my husband. He goes, oh, go ahead, pick a show. And so that was it was them. They wanted me to compete this year. They couldn't stand me taking a year off.
Oh, and thank you for picking ours. No, okay. So, all right. So you say, okay, I'm going to do this 15 weeks ago. What does your regiment look like, if you don't mind sharing some of it?
So I have, a different body group every day. Some of them multiple days a week. Not a whole lot of cardio. I actually chew through a lot of muscle with cardio, so we have to be very
Right.
careful. Some people can run and run and run and be fine. I
Not
can't.
for you. Right.
No.
Yes.
Uh, my meals would change depending on how we looked body wise. And we did this kind of a long and slow process. That way I didn't have to do any hard cuts. So mentally, I was more capable of handling the day to day nonsense that comes with life.
Okay. I like that. So, who is your trainer?
Bobo Eason.
Yes, we have to give a shout out to the trainer for sure. And I
Oh,
love that you said that you pretty much mapped where you were to what you would do next, right? Because most people or some people they just say, okay, you're going to do this for the next couple of weeks and then we'll check you out. And I love that you said like you kind of had like your check-in to see where you're going to be for the next thing. That's important. That's very important. And also mentioning the burnout part of doing the cardio. A lot of people, probably wouldn't believe it, but you actually could become too lean.
yeah.
And folks
It's
don't
massive.
understand that. Yeah, they're like, "What do you mean?" It's like, yeah, it's a delicate balance of where, especially for on show day, where you come in at, right? You got to kind of make
Yeah.
sure you meet uh, at that timing of that day and time of this is where I need to look. And I know a lot of folks always say the day after when they eat, they looked fuller, and I go, "Ooh, that means that you were kind of off, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to look your best on the day, of course, of the show. But yeah, I'm just like, you just go, okay.
It, it's hard. And then,
Yes.
depending on how long you've been doing it, you figure out what works for your body. Like little bitty ingredients can throw off your entire day. And
Gotcha.
that's kind of been fun to figure out the simple swaps in foods and what works and what doesn't work. And um, never at one point did I feel like I was absolutely starved during this prep.
Well,
And
that's great.
it was, I love my coach. I truly do. He's a great part of our family and
Oh,
takes care of me.
there you
So,
go. She felt taken care of, and she also walked away with a pro card. Not a bad day's work. Hello.
mhm.
So, what what do you think you have that you'll be doing next now that you've achieved this milestone? What's next on the horizon for you?
We've looked at some of the shows for next year. We've got a little bit of a game plan. In my abundant spare time, I'm a travel advisor, so I plan
Oh,
vacation, and
beautiful.
I have all of our vacations planned through June. So, like, we're gonna travel and have fun, and then I'm gonna step off the boat and be right back into it.
I see. Well, that's great. That's fantastic. All right. So you said you're a travel advisor for a specific company, your own company, but do tell.
I am an independent advisor for a small company based here in Simpsonville, South Carolina.
Okay.
So anything from Disney to cruises to hotel stays, all inclusives, we
So
take
do
care
you
of
want
it.
people to call you?
Absolutely.
All
And I
right.
use.
That's fantastic. She's like, yeah, just a few things. And she started with the best one, Disney. Who can't like Disney?
I know. I can't go to Disney on prep though. It just doesn't work.
No, no, no. That's yeah. I'm usually not in awe, like some things, but I'm not overly like, oh, look at that. I gotta tell you, Disney takes the the cake for me. I'm
Yeah.
such a big kid at Disney. It's like when you lose it, it's like you become a child again. It's fantastic. So that's awesome. So all right, we'll be sure to put your information. Do you want to say your company name?
Yeah, it's closer to the magic vacations.
Closer to the Magic Vacations, people. Look at it. You heard it here.
Yeah.
All
Uh,
right.
but I
So
wanted to do something spectacular. I
Okay.
just, I'm small. I'm always going to be small, and that's okay. But tiny people do big things.
Most definitely. Oh, by all means, beautiful, great things come in small packages.
Yes.
And so definitely she's like, just because I'm small, don't sleep on that. I love that. So, okay. So you've got your vacation scheduled, you've got your plan for next year. Is there something along this process that you learned about yourself that you're saying, hey, I didn't know that? Or maybe you knew it and now you're just more firm in what you know.
I think just wanting to do something for so long and finally achieving it, it's one of the best feelings. And then for all of my mom friends and friends that don't have children, having them see me, take over and be healthier and live a healthier lifestyle has inspired them and motivated them to be able to take control of their lives and their health. I love giving cooking advice and, simple swaps for food. So I want to help inspire and motivate other people to take better care of themselves.
Well, I think that is for sure. And then you did all of this over 35. Less, I'm going to keep saying that, but yes. Okay. To step into it over because people may think that maybe it's a younger people's sport or they make up 8,000 reasons of why it's not for them. Right. So I love that you, like you said, you sat through your plan and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do next. Right. And there's my goal and I'm going to go get that. And you did.
Yes. Yes.
That's
I
That's
wanted
no
that
small feat.
I
That's
wanted that pro card. So
yes, there's that's no small feat. Definitely not. Because I think it's very encouraging for others to just, just to follow that example if nothing else. Put it on the board. That's what I want. Vision board, whichever way you do it in your head, however you do it. But that's what I want. And then you just set up, line yourself up, and you go get it. And it doesn't help that you love your coach. It doesn't hurt at all. Um, So, what do you have, or what do you see, um, or have you seen? That's a better question. That this influences any other sides of your life. Of course, you have the travel business, but has it given you a boost for other things that you might want to do?
it has. It just shows me that I'm a very stubborn and motivated person. So,
Nothing wrong with that. Stubborn and motivation. That is the combo. I like it. She's like, go for it.
so
Fantastic.
we'll see how far it takes me and go from there. So my girls they'll jump in on my posing sessions with my posing coach, and it's just fun watching them like step out of their shells a little bit more and gain a little bit more confidence.
And so your posing coach is who?
Lauren Adams,
Yes,
who
we
is
have to say names.
amazing. So,
Yes. And I love that people take the time to do the posing. I know we're going to try to do a lot more posing clinics before our show. We're already working with folks to set them up because people understand that, to showcase yourself um, in the best light, you have to be able to pose right. And
yeah,
there are folks who just come in their phenomenal shape, but then when you see them pose, you're just like, that part, right? Like, why are they standing like that,
oh,
right?
I've been there. I've been that person.
So it makes a difference. And I tried to explain to someone, I said that since you don't have a mirror in front of you, you physically have to remember how it feels when you stand a certain way, right? And that's like you have to train yourself. When I do this and I push out here, this is, where I'm supposed to be. And it's, it comes with practice, of course. But when people say like you got to sit on your pose and things like that or flare, if the normal person has no idea what you're talking about when you
Yes.
say all those things. Like, what do you mean sit? I'm standing up. Like, no, no. I know you're standing, but I need you to sit while you're standing. Like, wait, what? So until they go through it, then they understand. So
Yeah.
I do understand some of the quirks of what you're saying, or um, then, oh, I just wanted to say about meeting folks along the way. So did you make any friends? I hope you did, like backstage, even though it was a mini war, did you get to, connect with the people that you were competing with?
Yes. So Tamara, who was also in figure, lovely human being. So we became Facebook friends, and I've met and become friends with a few of the other girls in figure between NPC and OCB.
Right.
Um, Not just that, just other divisions too. There's a wellness girl at Lee Haney that um, we're Instagram friends. We comment on each other's stuff, and she's just a lovely human being. So,
Yes. It is great to find like-minded people. And like you said, even though you're smaller in frame, and that's the only way, right? You find that bond. And if you know that these people have gone through the same kind of crazy that you've gone through,
yeah,
right? And they understand, what your day probably looked like as well. So although you're competing, you're also, you form a kinship at the same time, which is amazing. Um, and I love that about the sport. And as women, like you said, it to have muscles or to be a little different or go in a not the direction that's the norm. I feel like it's a lot more accepted in some places, not everywhere
yes,
now, for women to be physically fit and to have muscles and things. But years ago, it was like, why are you doing that? Do you want to be a guy?
exactly.
You're like, wait, what are you saying? Right. And it's actually better for women, right? You can bounce back and, if you can keep your body, if you're physically fit and you're doing like building the muscle and things, then that muscle will be there to support you. There are a lot of other stuff that happens to our bodies, as we go through many, many changes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a good thing. So yes, I love the sisterhood, the whole thing. And we'll let the guys in too. Yes, like them too.
Yes.
um,
For fun.
yeah, it's another circle that we've created. So are there any words that you would give to someone else that might be thinking of doing this, or just in general or a phrase or a quote or things that you love to put for yourself?
Make sure you have your support group, your friends, your family. I could not do this if my husband, my girls, and our core group of friends was not so supportive. My father comes to as many shows as he can, and he was so confused about it in the beginning, and now he's kind of getting it and understanding. My stepmom came to my last one. I think it really opened up her eyes um, to what I'm doing. And that was one of the best surprises that I had at that show. So
That,
get your
yes.
get your support group. You can't do it alone.
And I heard you say it a couple times. So what's your husband's name?
Sagar.
Speaking of support groups, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, we got to say that hubby's name for
Yes.
sure. So I'm so glad. Yes, a lot of times the family and friends, they just don't understand. They're like, I don't know. She's dieting down and she's doing this thing where she's in a bathing suit on stage. I don't know. They don't usually understand the whole thing. So I'm glad that they're at least, open to it and, are there to, they're probably like, we're going to support her no matter what she's doing. So that's great. But it does help. It does
Yeah.
help to have it. So I'm excited for what you're going to do and what your next steps are. Uh, I would love to be able to chat with you again and we can find out what else is going on. What next move you've done, and of course how the travel business is going.
Always
uh,
busy.
yes, but there's always stuff going on, right? It's amazing. But that's a fun, I would hope it's a fun uh
I
area
have
to be in.
Yes, I have a lovely group of women and a guy that's in the agency. We have our conference this weekend, so we're
Oh,
gonna get together,
nice.
and it's a good group of people to be with.
Beautiful. Look at that. Well, I can't wait to see what you do on your next steps. Um, and I hope that we can, like I said, do this again and we can find out, if there's any new things that come up. So
Yes,
I know there's a couple of pro shows and there's the Yorton next year too. So
there is. It's my
yes.
it's on my husband's birthday weekend.
Oh, look at that.
So
She said,
we'll see.
all right, very cool. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me. And until we see you again, okay?
Thank you.
All right.